What's up, you guys? So, how much money can you make as a truck driver? I'm going to be answering this question today using my actual real life numbers. So, I've gotten a few comments recently of people asking me how much I plan on making this year, what my income goal is, and I've made videos like this in the past where I go over and actually show you guys how much I made, how much I've been able to save, which is a huge part of this. One of the reasons why I like OTR especially is you're able to save so much money. But if you're interested in seeing that, you can go back and watch those videos. They're titled New Truck Driver Pay or Pay Review, something like that. My last one was from 11 months ago. Yeah, it's still going to have good, up to date, useful information. So if you want to watch that, you can go back and watch that after you watch this video. I like making videos on this topic because I think personal finance is very important. And at the end of the day, we all got into trucking for the money. And people always like to say that trucking isn't going to make you rich, which it's not. No job is going to make you rich. You have to do that yourself by managing your money properly. And just to use myself as a quick example, I started driving with zero experience straight out of CDL school. I got a job here at Melton where I was able to save $3,000 a month on average. That's what I saved on average. That's $36,000 a year that I could save or invest, do whatever I want with. That's if I did nothing, if I just saved it, I'd have $100,000 in less than 3 years. So it's not always about how much money you make, it's about how much you can save. And I know not everybody's in a position where they can do that. I was only making about 5,000 a month, but I was able to save 3,000 because like I said, if you're over the road, you can cut so many expenses. One of the biggest one, probably the main reason why I was able to save so much, is I didn't have to pay rent anywhere. I essentially lived in the truck, which I know for a lot of people you're going to say, that that's like the worst life, worst quality of life, this and that, which for some people, sure, maybe it is, but for me personally, I actually enjoy it. And given the fact that I'm able to, make so much progress in my financial goals as I do it, doing a job that I actually enjoy, um, you know, it's not a bad deal for me. So, for anyone else out there that might be in a similar situation or thinking about getting into trucking, um, you know, that's why I want to make this video, because maybe I can help or inspire somebody to, get after it, make some money, save some money, set themselves up for a better financial future. And seeing other people talk about this sort of thing is always very helpful for me. So hopefully it can be helpful to you as well. So, with all that being said, and before I get into what my income goal is for this year, I'm also curious what your guys' goals are. So, comment down below what your financial goals are for this year, savings wise, investing, income wise, whatever it is. You never know, your comment could help or encourage someone else. So, like this video, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. But also, a quick side note about comments on financial videos in the trucking industry. You can never satisfy anyone. I uploaded a TikTok and YouTube short yesterday about how much money I'll make this week, which was a really good week for me. Is over $2,600 for 1 week. And there's people commenting on that video on TikTok, not on my YouTube, I don't think. But some of the TikTok comments, those people are crazy. They're like, saying, "Oh, I can't believe you're bragging about making this kind of money, this and that." Which, first of all, not bragging. I'm just sharing. Putting information out there for people to know. And there's people like, "Oh, I wouldn't even start the truck for that kind of money," stuff like that. And it's like $2,600 a week. If I made that every week, that's over $100,000 in a year. And people are saying, that's not enough money. So don't believe everything you read in these comments about how much money people are making. But also, really quick, I think those people who commented that are thinking from like an owner operator or lease operator uh, point of view. I'm a company driver, so I don't pay for expenses, fuel, repairs, anything like that. So from their perspective, yeah, that kind of money probably doesn't make sense. But for me, as somebody who can be a company driver with no expenses and take home close to $2,000 a week, I mean, I can't complain. So now getting into what my income goal is for this year, I'm going to be basing this off of the amount of money that I was paid for the miles that I drove when I was here back in 2022. So my total miles for then, and I only drove here for 9 months in 2022. Well, 8 months. The first month was training and orientation, but we're including all of it. So 9 months, 72,528 miles, which is technically only 8 months of actual miles, but whatever. And I was paid $44,577. So if we divide how much I was paid by the amount of miles that I had, that's 61 cents per mile. But what I was actually technically getting paid is 52 cents a mile, and then 53 at the end because you get a small raise after like 3 months or a certain amount of miles, something like that. But there's so much extra pay that we get in flatbed or here at Melton in particular with like tarp pay. So every tarped load that we have is an extra $100, uh, and probably 75 to 80% of our loads are tarped. And then there's also some other extra pay stuff like over dimensional loads are 16 extra cents per mile. Hazmat is an extra 6 cents or 8 cents per mile. Same with if you have your passport, if you go into Canada, 6 or 8 extra cents. I forgot which one it is, but it's one of those, I think. And then there's also a fuel bonus, which the top payout is if you get 8.1 mpg per quarter, which is not necessarily easy to do at all. But if you get that top payout, it's an extra something amount of cents per mile you drove in that quarter, up to $1,500. So if you hit that each quarter, that's 6,000 extra dollars that you could get in the course of a year, which is a pretty good bonus. And one other big bonus that was included in these numbers that I was getting when I worked here before was a $5,000 sign on bonus, which I realized is fairly significant. And all these numbers are net, and that was, of course, taxed. So I didn't net $5,000 from that, but I'm sure that that is skewing my 61 effective cents per mile up. Uh, but we're going with it anyway because it's in the numbers and whatever. And in case anyone was curious, so that first year, if I would have worked the entire time in 2022, I was on track to make about $60,000. Like I said, I think at the beginning I was averaging about 5,000 a month net. But like I said, I was able to save 3,000 of that. So in the 9 months that I worked here, I saved close to 30,000. I think about 27,000 is what I saved in the 9 months that I was here. So now that we've gone over all that, my goal for this year is to net $70,000. And how I came to that number is basically adding 8 cents per mile to what my current CPM is, which is 58. Now that I have a year experience, so I drove at Melton for 9 months, left, drove somewhere else for a few months. Now that I have 12 months of experience, I'm at 58 cents per mile. So adding 8 cents to that, because when I was getting paid 52 or 53 cents per mile before, but effectively getting 61, that's 8 extra cents per mile. So if we can, apply that same logic here, that would put me at an effective CPM of 66 now. And if I can average about 2,300 miles a week, which I think I should be able to do, that puts me at 1,500, just over $1,500 a week that I'd be netting, times 48 weeks, which is how much I plan on working this year, just taking 4 weeks off. That puts me at $72,864. So that's how it came to my $70,000 goal for this year. Now, one thing that I actually just remembered, but I should probably mention, is back in 2022, I had essentially no deductions coming out of my checks, just taxes. I wasn't paying for health insurance. I was 25 at the time, so I was still on my parents' health insurance. Um, Now I'm going to be paying for my own. Also, I wasn't contributing to the 401k back at that time, and I think that I am going to do that now. I need to look into it a little bit more into what Melton offers, but I think it's a pretty big match. I think it's like, I don't want to be wrong here, don't quote me, but I think it's like 5 to 7%, maybe more. Well, probably not more, but maybe like 7%, which, if you can get an automatic guaranteed 7% ROI on your money, I mean, you'd be dumb not to take it. So, the $70,000 net, I don't know how my deductions are going to affect that this year, but I guess we'll see as the year goes on. And then, of course, I'll make a video at the end of this year showing you guys exactly how much I made and how much I saved, everything like that. And then also some things that I'm not going to count in my income goal for this year is going to be any money that I get from YouTube, which I make a little bit on these videos right now. For January, which is this, well, no, today, I think today is the first day of February. But for January, I made just over $70, which is pretty big for me. That's like up 30% of what I usually make. Um, but because I uploaded a lot more videos in January than I usually do. But anyway, so hopefully that number keeps growing, and maybe it'll be a significant-ish source of income as well. But I'm not counting that in my $70,000, or also any money that I get from driver referrals, which I don't push for super hard, but I will have a link in this video in the pinned comment and probably almost all my videos where if you want to support me, support my channel, and if these videos, help you in any way, you could use that link if you want to drive at Melton. I'm not telling anyone that they should or that they shouldn't, but if you want to, and like I said, if these videos are helpful, you can use that link, send in your application, and it would give me the referral. And that would also greatly help me add to my Lamborghini collection. I only have about 3 right now. But if you gave me the referral, maybe I could get like 1 or 2 by the end of this year. So, yeah, I think that that's about all that I got for you guys in this video. Hopefully it helped some of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.